Come on into the room, be coachable, teachable, trainable, post your city and state where you may be catching this information from. On today, my name is BrandMaster Martina Britt Yelverton, your cash flow queen and founder of Family First Designs, a BrandYOU agency, helping you guys who are new, stuck, and struggling to get your assets in order and go from stuck and struggling to gaining impact and influence so that people who out here in these internet streets that need what it is that you have to offer so that they can find you and that they are attracted to your value, your vision, and your voice, and you can give whatever your God-given gift is to them. So on today, I'm recording something pretty impromptu because it's really important on today for me to get this information out because I am a little behind with some of my recordings. And so I want to make sure I take the opportunity to get this information out to you on today. So what I want to do is to share screen and make sure that I have that information up and available on my opposing page over here. Let me turn the sound on just in case I need to share that, get that available. So today I'm actually going to be disclosing, that's not the word I was looking for, discussing, that's the word I was looking for, discussing how to build a personal brand with AI. And so I actually have a business brand that I'm going to share on today because I already built the personal brand, with the AI, but I wanted to show you the mindset behind it because I have a business brand that I have yet to build out with AI, their brand. So I figured, why not do it publicly for you guys? And so if you're catching this information and you're inside of the free BrandYOU community, I greatly appreciate you guys leaving a comment or some information below, letting me know that you are inside of the community and that you are catching this information. For those of you who are catching this on the replay on any of the other channels that this will post to, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, no, not Twitter, because I don't broadcast to Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, there we go, YouTube, all these other channels, and definitely drop that comment so that I will know where you actually caught this information from. That would be helpful to me as well. Post your city and state. So should you choose to let me know where my information is reaching out into this internet streets, I greatly appreciate it. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and share screen. Let's drop myself down to the bottom out of the way area here so you guys can see everything that I have for you to share on the screen. This is not specifically a Watch Me Work Wednesday, a Teach You Tuesday, a Setup Sunday, or a Speaker Saturday, but it is live with the BrandMaster when you're watching this, because I'm recording this live for you so that you have this information to put into your arsenal. So right now, we stay busy inside of the community. And by we, I mean me, stays busy inside of the community, putting information in here for you guys to have access to. This is what that community will look like when it's on the light. I prefer to work inside of the dark mode here. When you guys come into the community, the first thing I always ask for you guys to do is to come and take your speaker assessment, because as soon as you finish with your speaker assessment or your BrandYOU assessment or your business audit assessment, it will give you a printout to let you know where you are on the journey. And once you know where you are on the journey, then you are available when you get that consultation that comes directly next, then you are available to understand what it is that we are together to meet and to talk about. And so I like for you guys to see that over here, as you see the BrandYOU assessment, speaker ready assessment, or the business audit. I need for you to come into the community and take one of those three, because once you take that assessment, you know where you are and I know where you are. And now I know what we're talking about and how I can help you. Okay. And so the most recent invasive things that I've asked people to do is to come into the BrandYOU member directives area, because we have people who don't quite understand Canva, who aren't using it yet, who are trying to get and put together their speaker media kit, their one pager. And I'm teaching those different things about Canva here in this portal. Okay. And so that's where you would find that. So that is where this video today will go. However, today's topic, for dramatic effect, today's topic is teaching you how to build a personal brand here inside of AI. And so, yay, in our handy dandy GHL Studio, that is Go High Level, which is the white label, the software behind the BrandYOU agency. And we have built, as you will see in our AI studio, we have built the new web presence. Here we go. BrandYOU Agency for Family First Designs. We have built this entire web completely using AI. It's taking all of the internet's information that it has gathered about your BrandMaster and the BrandYOU agency. And what it was able to do was to go in and it was able to create this website so that everything that you see is delineated information from online, and all of it was done via AI. So this is the new web presence for the agency, Family First Designs, a BrandYOU agency. This is my corporation company, the agency that is behind many of the brands that you see. So when I say many of the brands that you see, many of the brands that you see in these topics, health and wellness, these are the previous clients or current clients for that. In the business and corporate realm, these are the previous and current clients for that. The same with faith and spirituality, authors and book publishings. These are the clients and evidence of that. Parenting and youth development, clients and customers for that, past, present, current. Life Be Life and My New Walk in Life, which is now Tawana Lynette, Relationship Mechanic, Liz the Boss, Parker International, You Inspire the Movement. Entrepreneur and business clients in that realm, transportation and delivery in that realm, as well as finally community, nonprofit, or social impact. So you can see who we've worked with over some time, right? And then it has the information with regards to the packages that the agency offers. And finally, Real People, Real Results, Real Transformation. You can go and check us out on Google. And you can also check out the availability of all the logos and portfolios and brands that we've developed over the past 20 years. Okay, so AI did this. AI gathered this information, right? AI put this together, and that is what I'm going to show you. You're going to watch us do this together in real time for a client. So currently right now, the personal brand that we have just recently built, which will be released soon, is for Tawana Lynette. And this is the web development that we have built for her completely with AI, right? So I'm showing you the evidence of what this AI system can do, what the agency delineates, gathers, tracks, puts in some type of strategic guidance inside of a brand strategy guide. We put all this together, right? And once we have all of this together, we plug all of this information into our AI tool, and the AI tool then builds the funnel, the landing page, the workflow, whatever system that we're having it build, it does that by us inputting the information. So how did we do that? I'm going to show you. So right now, elitetransitnc.com. This is a site. Notice the time that it is taking for this to populate. For me, that's a bit frustrating. For my client, they may not notice it, but for me, I wanted it to be better. So what you're looking at here is a client, and I am going to show you in real time how we are going to rebuild this interface, okay? So I'm going to take that information, I'm going to copy it here. And again, you guys are going to be able to watch this get built in real time. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go over to that interface. Let's pull that down. Let's click out of there and let's go over to Elite Transit. We'll pull that back in here for you guys to see. We're going to go into the AI studio for Elite Transit. As you see, this is a blank slate. There is nothing down here. These are templates, but if I were to go to my projects, there are no projects yet. There's been nothing entered yet. This is a blank slate, okay? So one of the things that we were able to do is we were able to take and utilize our handy dandy. Let's see if we can get this where I want to get it to here. And let's go in here, go over to, not there, there we go. Elite Transit NC. As you see, this brand information was just loaded in here on today. And what we were able to do was we were able to connect this to their Go High Level account. right inside of the agency. I'm going to have to stop saying Go High Level account and make sure I'm saying agency account, because they are not a Go High Level client. They are a BrandYOU agency client. And we actually operate inside of their agency platform, their sub account inside the agency platform. And as you see, this is a blank slate. So what we were able to do was load into our vision blueprint all of the information, and then they gave us a specific PDF. Okay. The PDF that they rendered us, let's see if we can get that open for you guys to see. And the reason I'm giving you all this preliminary information is so that you'll have the big picture and you'll understand a lot of what goes on behind the scenes before you ever push a button, code anything, or any of that. All right, this is the Elite Transit. I have no idea why it has a blue color in here, because if you go over and have a look at the brand colors that we have established, these colors are black, gold, and gray. Where the blue came from, I have no earthly idea, but hey, AI is not perfect. So if you look at the information for this company, you have their customer avatar, the pain point and positioning, the value proposition taglines, the identity, voice and details, color palette, typography, and then a reference, okay? And then you have a breakdown of who their ideal customer is, what the primary goals and desires of that customer, who is in this case, Sarah, 38. And her roles is she is the activities coordinator for a large private school district. Her income is upper middle income. The location, she's in Durham and surrounding areas, and she has a master's degree in education. This again is the customer avatar. What her primary goal is. Her primary goal is to ensure the safe reliability and comfortability, no, that's not a word, transportation of students for all the extracurricular activities, field trips, and special events. And she needs a transportation partner, okay, who understands the unique logistical challenges of school groups and can provide seamless, stress-free experience for both her and the students, right? And then she has a secondary goal, what she craves, and some of the challenges, the biggest challenges, daily frustrations, and fears that she endeavors. And then the transformation that happens once she works with Elite Transit. All this information is a part of the strategy guide that my vision assistant and I have put together to be able to understand the actual experience that an individual needing to work with Elite Transit NC will endeavor, okay? And then we have other things in their identity with regards to their color palette. Again, we don't know where the blue's coming from. I will find out. But what the personality is, the brand values, and more of the details, the voice, what the brand story could be, those colors. So for some reason, an accent color picked up here, and we're going to see if we can go in and we can fix that, because that truly is not a part of the color. It probably pulled from the web presence. So let's see what this looks like to correct that so you guys can see in real time. Let's go to the brand colors and let's go down. And let's give it a tertiary color here. What color would or should we possibly use? Let's go to the website and let's see. It probably pulled from this color palette here, but what I would love to do to see if we can get a color just to be able to show you in real time so we can move on into the build of this. Let's go out to their personal brand page. One of the things I see we need to update is this is an old image up here that needs to be updated. They're not currently using this brand positioning, even though, yes, the last post may have been in 2025. We just need to do a better job with implementing the use of their social media, okay? But these are some great images that we'd be able to pull from the website, so should we choose to do that. But from the look of what we have here, I'm just going to say, let's continue to utilize that gold that we have here on the website and maybe a white. So let's go over to here, and I'm just going to add the accent color of white. There we go. And now I'm going to save that again. And I'm going to allow it to export again. We're going to close that out. And we're going to open up a different one as soon as it finishes exporting it. Because again, I want to see the update and the change. Right, and I'm going to name that one Revise. So let's save it there. I don't know why that was saying 7 hours ago. We just did that earlier today. All right. Well, let's go open that one up and let's see what we resulted in when we changed it to white. So yes, it pulled the blue out as we desired. And now when we go down through the pages, this is more aligned with the colors and everything that we would be looking for. Good deal, good deal. There we go. And it gave us the white there. So it chose for us there based on something that it saw on the website, but we want to keep their color palette as it actually is. And as you saw the page before, it had their logos in a dark and in a light. That's in there. Why is that important? To understand their identity pillars and what their colors are built on. Safety first, service excellence, logistical mastery. I promise you I can talk in a former life, right? And we want to understand why we've chosen the colors that we've chosen so that all of their information looks the same, their typography and all of their slogans and things like that that they are using. That's what we have, okay? So now that we have the entire brand strategy guide available, right, we would then want to take that brand strategy guide and we would want to put it into our AI system. So what we would then do, and I ran this a little bit earlier rather quickly for you guys to see. Here is one of our clients, and we're asking for prompt rebuilding. I'm considering using the GHL AI Studio to rebuild this brand for my client, Elite Transit NC. Okay. And so what I wanted to do is, now that we updated the brand strategy guide, we're going to tell it that. I actually noticed an error on the previously uploaded brand strategy guide, and I have attached below the accurate new brand strategy guide for you to review and provide any adjustments to the prompt that you've already submitted and give me a new prompt. So I've spoken that information into my AI. I actually noticed an error, blah, 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 blah. So now we're going to go in and we are going to add those local files, the new brand strategy guide, and we're going to say, and go. And so there's the new strategy guide. Now my Manny is thinking. So while my Manny is thinking, let's go back to where we are inside of, let's close that one down because we don't need that one. We're using this one now. And let's go back into our map. I thought we already had this pulled up. We're going to switch back over into Elite. Transit right there. And now that we're back into our Manny is still thinking. And we're back into the vibe. All right. So now what you see that we have our brand strategy guide. We are asking for our AI prompt to give us the prompt that we're going to place in here that literally in real time is going to build the personal brand web page for us. Okay. So let's check back over here. It's still thinking. So what I'm going to do is move out. Well, move up so I can show you what it originally would look like, why it's still thinking, because I know that doesn't slow down the process. So here is the previous thought process that it gave us, and it's telling the AI Studio, you are an elite web designer and direct response conversion copywriter. Build a complete premium, high converting single page website for Elite Transit NC. Analyze this reference site, which is the previous site that we have built, adopt its structural layout, section pacing, design patterns. However, you must replace all colors, fonts, and copy with the specific brand data provided below. Do not copy the reference site's branding, only its structural intelligence, right? And then the customer avatar is plugged in. Why do we do that? We plug in the avatar information specifically for the person who will be visiting the site. And we do that because we want to make sure that anyone that visits the sites is the ideal customer and avatar that needs the services that Elite Transit has. Okay. Now, it gives us some critical rules to implement. It tells us which brand colors to implement. As you see, we're going to be replacing this one because we know that one was incorrect. We're going to make sure the Montserrat font is used as well as the body font is used. It's going to go and grab those from there. Making sure the brand tone is this. Now, it's going to have a sticky navigation bar. What it's going to utilize for the hero area, the struggle or the problem that it received from the brand strategy guide, what that solution would be, how it works, right? And any plan that is available as far as quotes, services, and provisions that Elite Transit NC offers. Currently, they have a quote method of receiving, meaning you fill out the quote, they give you a call, they determine what the pricing will be, everything is custom. And that is what we wanted to continue with for now. And it continues to give some other information, come up with frequently asked questions, 5 questions or so in this particular body style, add in a footer and all of that. And then it gives us some design and technical requirements, okay? So it looks like it has finished. And so now that it has finished, all we're going to do is open up the new finished information that it has created, and we're going to copy all of that, all the way down through the end of what it has said. We're going to copy all that. All right, and we're going to close that out. And then we're going to go into the AI Studio, and you guys get to watch in real time the magic. So the first thing I do is post that prompt in there. And then I'm going to go and add the things that I know that I want it to utilize, like the branded logos. I want it to use those because I don't want it to have to search around and try to pull something inaccurate. I want it to put in what I want it to put in. So I'm going to go and get the logo, both of those here. And I'm going to say add that in. And then I'm going to say go. Now, typically for a personal brand, you're going to have a headshot. You may have some PDFs or some other graphics. You can plug that all in, but we're doing this simplified for you today. And we're going to say and go. And the magic will begin to happen. So it has went and found something just to show you while it works, from the creativity, the different things that it is available to do, what all that looks like. But as you will see pop up over here in this area, it is actually telling you what it's doing. It's reading your information, and then you get to watch in a checkbox format. Let me move myself out of the way to make sure that you are available to see this. There we go. I'm up out of the way. And so over here on the left-hand side, it's saying it is designing the system and setup. Then it's going to move to any images it needs to generate. Then it's going to build a hero and a header section, a struggle and a solution section, a process and a plans section, any social proof and FAQs, footers, and all of the legal pages. Why is it building all of that? Because again, in the prompt that I have created inside of my Manny, there are things that I asked that it consider. And you're probably wondering where, what prompt? Let me go show you. So up here, when I first started it, I have 2 skill sets that I asked for it to use. I ask it to use a brand to GHL website, meaning go look what I already built. And then I also make sure that it utilizes an AI lead gen setup that I will implement that will allow the system to start to receive leads based on some criteria that I put out there in advance. What type of criteria? Well, I'm so glad you asked, because we will get to that on another training. But basically what it's doing is it's saying, who are the interested people who would need transportation services in this specific niche. Go find them, go qualify them, meaning check their social media, check their websites, check their industry, make sure that they are the qualified people who would actually be booking transportation, and now put my information in front of them. Outreach to them, send them an email, send them a post, send them something that will then bring them back to this web presence to find out more about this company. That's basically what we're setting up. So let's check in where we are in the process. So it looks like just that quick, we have built the design system and setup. We have completed the hero and the header page. We have built the struggle and the solution area. We already know I gave it a couple of images, but just in the background, one of the things that I enjoy doing is making sure that it utilizes the same things I already have in place. So while it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and go here, and I'm actually going to right click and copy the image address because I want it to do certain things. So as of now, look what it has done. Y'all didn't see me pause. You didn't see me do anything, but look what it's already done. So before I share that with you, I just want to go in here really quickly and grab a couple of these links before I display everything on the page, so I can have those ready just in case I didn't grab them. I'm just going and grabbing a few of the images similar to what I've had to do on other pages before. If it didn't grab things the way that I wanted it to grab, I just want to have those in my arsenal. All right, and let's go see what it created. So this is what it created in front of your eyes. Okay, it created this website all on its own in front of your eyes. Very minimal things that we will have to do, very minimal things that we will have to tweak. So as you see, like I said, it does not have the images from the other website. It only grabbed this one right here, but we know this one is much more appealing visibly with regards to the images. So because these are some of our partner companies, and there's some more down here, I want to go ahead and grab those because we're going to plug those in, and I'm going to show you how simple it is to plug in what it is that you need and where it is that you need it plugged in at. All right, and so now what I'm going to do, I think those are the only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that we have. Okay. And so what I want to do now is just begin to talk to some AI. So if I were to have this plugged up on a separate screen, which I'll do now, I'm just going to move it over here. And I'm going to say to my little AI, this looks amazing. However, let's give it some personality. Let's include the collaborative partner logos in an as partnered with section with a white background and feature the logos horizontally, same size, and where would we want them to put it? Let's put it above and below our Trusted by Triangle Area School section. Above and below in the section. And we're going to say go. So what we've done is if we've actually asked for it to put here in the trusted by Triangle Area Schools section the images that came from our previous site. Now, well-trained, courteous experience, we could have it go here. We could have had it go here. But again, we're going to take everything that you see here on this page and we're going to add it to our newly AI built page. And I'm just sharing and showing you. And of course, as before, I'll always show you the finalized version once I play around with it, because of course I want to add, because we want them Stripe strategy compliant. We want to make sure that we add the address here. We want to give ourselves due recognition for designing this. We want to make sure we plug in our privacy policy, all of our legal. We want to make sure that our address is listed here, our contact information is listed here, all the things that you see here on a professional website. We're going to make sure their social media is going to be added down there, and any of the information that you see here. By the time we finish building out this site, all we're having to do is to continue to talk to AI, and AI is going to do the work. So right here you see they are now going in AI. I call her Vibi. Vibi is going in here and she is implementing the request that I made. Obviously, we'll want to change these backgrounds to something darker, maybe with lighter text so they're better able to be read. But again, the fact that it was able to go in here and create for us, what happens if your schedule changes at the last minute? What would, the process be? Are there any hidden fees to your pricing? Different things like that. I will give them the opportunity to go in and read these questions, because I don't recall if we had frequently asked questions on the previous site. No, we did not. Okay. And so they will need to look at the site that we've rebuilt for them, and they will need to vet the site, change anything that we've made. They will need to give me a better understanding of what they'll want to use, for the custom code, the packaging, and we will be able to change up any area that we need to change up, again, by simply going in here, chatting with our Vibi in real time, and Vibi will update. So as you see right now, Vibi is in here adding the partner logo section. She's letting us know that what she's doing, and we could literally begin typing in the next thing that we notice that needs to be changed. Like, there is no social media. The address information is not here. There is no connection to their Google My Business page. There are different things. So right now, as you see, it's adding the partner logos. Of course, we want them in full color. Typically, it would have put them in grayscale, right? And then I would typically go in and add, hey, no, can you make those actually full color, which is what I'll probably do. Yeah, it's nice that it adds the grayscale, but I prefer to have the full color images. If my client prefers to have the grayscale, we'll return them to the grayscale by simply asking. But again, as you see, it's building out for me the complete website. The other thing that it's doing that I'll show you in just a moment, because it's almost finished with this last request that I've made, is that it will then also go in and optimize this website for me based on this industry, keywords, metadata, tags, and all of that itself for us. We don't have to figure all that out. It will actually do the optimization itself. So it's almost done with that. As I said, the last thing I asked for it to do was to make them scroll. So that's what it's doing now. And as you see, it decided to do it with a simple color overlay. However, you notice when you hover, it's actually going to the full color, which I think might be a nice touch. So we may leave them in grayscale. We'll see. But I do like the fact that it made them scroll, that we do have the full color images here for some of their partner schools, and then also any additional information. I like that it put it below, above, and below it as well. So I think that's going to be a nice touch that we'll probably leave in place. And so now it's finished. It just blinked, showed us that it's finished. You're going to see this finish up over here. And then all I'm going to do is go out here to the site that we're waiting on, and I'm going to refresh the site. And you'll see the changes show up in this area. So we're waiting for the little thing to beep to let me know it's done. and then I'll move on to the next thing that I'm going to have it to do. Obviously, it's going to be building out the terms of service, privacy policy, refund policy, again, as well as adding the social media, ensuring that the pop-up form that is available on the previous site, that it is available on this site. I'm probably going to take some video content that's inside of here, and I'll probably add it to the background. I think that's a little dark at the top, so I'll probably go in and lighten that up so you can see it a bit better. This is just me giving you some quick suggestions that I'll see. I'll make sure this pops up to an actual form, not just scrolling down to the quote. We'll see what will work best. But again, what the point that I'm making is everything that you just saw me do in real time came from me simply putting in a prompt. It built everything out, and all I'm doing is asking Vivi over here to make certain changes, okay? And again, because I have it recording, that is probably the length or the amount of time that it's taking to get this done. But again, it's crazy that you're available to see it in real time. So literally, that's all I have for you guys right now. I'm going to, it just blinked again, so it's probably finished. I'm going to give it the opportunity to breathe for a minute so it can do what it needs to do without so many different things straining the resources. Again, I'm recording. I still have all my other tabs and things open, so that's probably making it take a bit longer than it normally would. But again, this is how you build a personal brand with AI, by honestly having all of your processes in order in advance, ready to go, utilizing a prompt and making the prompt do exactly what it is that you need it to do, and then talking the rest of the prompt through what you don't need for it to do. So let's see. I think I've spent my wheels waiting long enough. And I'll probably conclude with showing you guys a working website available at test.elitetransitnc.com, because generally that's what I do. I put up a test site before I put up the real site, and that is the site that I communicate with the client and allow them to send me their edits and their revisions so that we can make everything go live. That's all I have for you right now. Thank you so much for your time. It has populated up a finalized version, so let's go out here. Let's refresh it. And let's see what that looks like in real time. There we go. So I'll refresh it again and let you guys see that it has now added the above and below partner logos that I asked for it to add. And I will move on to my next request. Okay, so one of the things that I asked for it to do was to add a drop shadow behind the text up here, and to make this overlay not so heavy so that we can see the image that's going on a little bit better back here. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to say, let's see, use the attached image with a heavy overlay and the in the section similar to the hero section above. And then what we're going to do, because we want from the original site, I myself really like this image back here. What I am going to do is I'm going to go into the original account. Of course, we want to continue to use these images and these images. I'm going to close that up for now. And I'm off screen in a separate account, not a separate account, in a separate monitor, on a separate monitor. And I am going into the website that we built. And I am going to that page specifically. And I'm going in here to grab this hero image because that's the one that I want to use a little bit later. And the easiest way for me to find that is to grab the videos and the image coding from the main website. So let's click on that. And let's go in here. And let's add the image for that. What else did we say? We said we were going to add a background image there. That one's fine for there. We're going to change that. Now let's go get the image used for down there. And we have that one. And we're going to add that down there. Please add in the footer section this image as a background. And then we're going to plug those into there and we're going to hit enter. And so this is the last area that I'll show you just how you can type exactly what you want into the app and it will build out what it is specifically that you're looking for. And so while it's doing that, I'm going to go over and open and grab this information from the bottom here and get that ready for my next command here. Also, please add in the footer, ensuring that the text BrandYOU agency is hyperlinked to that. And if you notice here on the screen what's happening, do you see it over here doing the different things that we're asking it to do? So while I'm typing in my next command, it's already working on my last command. So I wanted to also grab the actual date that we have on here, which is 2017. And so let's grab that. And so that's all we're going to have added to the bottom. Eventually, we're going to make sure that we add the social media and all of that. But I wanted you guys to see, I'm asking it to do this. I'm typing up what it's going to do next, and you're actually watching it build it out in real time here. Let's go check and see what it's doing with the image that we asked above for it to include. So it did lighten that up. If you guys notice, there's a slight drop shadow behind the text here. That's lightened up a bit more for you to be able to see the background there. Let's scroll down to this one. This one is a little dark. We're going to ask it to put a drop shadow behind this, but I think we're going to keep that dark because if not, this yellow on this text would compete with the bus over here, which would make it a little unreadable. We don't want to do that. We're going to ask eventually for it to change the text color of this right here. We're going to make sure that this matches, and we're going to ask for it to add in each of these 1, 2, and 3 blocks because I want some more pictures. I'm going to ask it to go and add in these images here. So standard solution and service, I'm going to ask for it to please mimic this area here because I want these 3 pictures to be featured possibly inside of this block here, and I want this site to be, this area to be brightened up. All right, so let's see what we heard the little thing complete. We were asking for it to do what? We asked for it to put the footer down here. We asked for it to brighten this up, to add the drop shadow back here, which it did that. Did we ask it to do anything else? Let's go see. Over here, we can hit show more, and it will show us what we just asked it to do and whether or not it did it. And yes, it did. And sometimes it'll ask you to confirm, and it will say, hey, I have updated the hero section with the lighter overlay and text drop shadows for better visibility. I also added the provided background images with the heavy overlays to the solution and footer sections to give the design more personality and depth. Yay, that's what we wanted it to do. So right now, this is the last thing I'll show you, and we'll close out in the footer where, and then I have all that for it to do, for it to make that adjustment. And just so you can see, I'm only going to say make this more readable, and we'll see what it does. The section that says, comma, make it more visible and readable. Does that work? Enter. So this is the last thing I'll show you because we could literally sit here all night and do this. Okay. The one thing I do notice is that it did not pull over information as far as like the phone number and all of that. And so I'll ensure, like I said, the social media, the phone number, and more information, the address and all of that, because that is on the original site. Not sure if you guys noticed that, but that is here on the original site. However, it didn't pick it up. So we're going to make sure that that gets added. That one shouldn't take as long, but just so you can see it happening, I'll scroll up so you can see them change it in real time. I think we asked for something right here. Oh, we asked for this to be changed, and we asked for this to be changed. So let's watch that happen in real time, and I'll close this out. And like I say, at the end of this video, I'll be sure to add the new final website changes, but I think you get the direction that we're going in. Here already, I'll give you a final access to the completed site, but like I said, I think you get it. So as I said before, thank you for your time. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you understand that you are available. To not be afraid of AI, to learn how to leverage and work with AI, and how you can build your entire brand. Hello, your entire personal brand, your speaker brand, because that is what I'm going to show you guys next, how to build an entire speaker brand using AI. AI is something that should be leveraged in the time of its lifetime so that you can be a step ahead. You can move forward. You can learn to leverage what's available to you, one, before it goes away or before it transitions to something that you do not have within your control. But as you see happening here on the site, it's making the changes down here. It has already hyperlinked here in the address bar, the footer address bar. It's already hyperlinked that. And if we go up here, let's see if it's changed that text in that area. So we're waiting for it to change the text here. Is that where we asked for it at? Or was it here? We see. It says streamline predictable planning. So let's see. Streamline predictable planning. This is the area that it's getting ready to update next. And once it updates that, I'll close it out. We need some Jeopardy music playing. So as you see on the left, it says enhance readability of that information. So let's see. I updated this, streamline predictable planning. No, you did not update that because we still can't read it. See, everything is not perfect with AI. And all we have to do is say, actually, I do not see where you made that text more visible or readable. That's all I'm going to say. And we're going to let it go up here and figure out what it did not fix. Or did it fix it? Nope. There we go. So this is what we're asking for it to fix. Streamline predictable planning. It did not fix that. And of course, if it doesn't do it, we'll just get specific. Hey, change streamline predictable planning to gold. Next, change we've refined. See, so it did it again. I don't know which text it thinks I'm talking about because that looks amazing. All of that looks amazing. That looks amazing. So it's not picking up on which text I'm referring to. So let's highlight it, copy. All right, so what I said, because I think I might be typing behind my image down here, was I said, here is the text I'm referring to. And then I put it in parentheses, the text that I'm referring to. Then I said it's black on a black background. It needs to be yellow or white and doesn't have to be so large. Make it match other areas for consistency throughout the website. Let me move myself so you guys can see. This is where I typed that information. Can you guys see that down here? Right, that's where I typed that information. All right, and let's hit enter for our last edit. And I promise I'll stop saying for our last edit. Okay, so I'm going to take the highlight off so you guys can watch in real time it correct that, and then I'll close out the live, or I'll close out the training. When you see in real time, it's now making the edit. Now, I hope that it changes streamline predictable planning to yellow just for, you know, consistency and header. See how this one up here? I'm just going to go in and say, can you make the size of match the size of the size and color. All right, so I just asked it to match this to this. Let's see what it does. And indeed, there we go. So again, as soon as you begin to learn the methods that you can utilize, I could have included in the original prompt, please make all headers a different color than subheaders. Make sure they match in style, font, size, and all of that. You can put all of that into your prompt before you get started to make your final output that you utilize more consistent with what it is that you're trying to do. So again, I hope that makes sense to you guys. I hope you have enjoyed this training. I hope you understand that you do not have to be afraid of AI, that you can learn to leverage AI and work directly with it to build out your websites, your funnels, your workflows, anything that you need on the World Wide Web. Again, thank you for your time today. I greatly appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you guys inside of the BrandYOU community. So if you've watched this training and you've made it through and you're you're kind of trying to understand and wrap your mind around what we've done, this is what you call vibe coding, right? This is where you're able to speak to an app and the app does what you need it to do. So you've actually watched me for the last 50 minutes vibe code based on information that I had from a website, meaning you can find any website that you truly enjoy the way that it is built, and you can ask your app to go and create and build your website using your own authentic content, your intellectual property, your own value, your vision, your voice to build for you using an app like this. And you're available to get it directly from the BrandYOU agency. If you want to know more, go to BrandYOUagency.com. I'm your girl, BrandMaster Martina Britt Yelverton, and that is my time for today.